Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Megan, you fix your shoulder. You're looking like Flashdance. Yeah, a little Flashdance going on. That's
Yeah,
from that.
can you walk her? I'm gonna go get money.
What
I'm
I'm
gonna make
talking
you.
about.
No.
Barton knew what I was talking about. Barton, did you know? See, turn your head, Barton. You got a little gray going in there. There it is. Just a touch, brother. You remember Flashdance, don't you, Barton?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. As a matter of fact, I can still do some of the moves. And
Yeah,
this is titanium, by the way, brother. This is not silver. This is titanium.
Titanium. I tell my wife and kids that. They're just totally. By the way, I've been growing it out. I'm going camping. I'm going to Tahoe to the cabin for 4 days. So I'll actually let it grow out a little bit. And I'm going to let it go for 4 more days. So,
Wild, man.
Just for fun. I know I'm a little insane. Good. Bunch of people jumping on. This is awesome. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with, as always, is the market. Alicia, you are the star of the show. Bring us up to speed on interest rates, loans, new programs. What is going on?
Well, there is the biggest thing that I just wanted to make sure that everybody pushes right now is for speed. Is push your clients to upload all their docs to their lender in the very, very, very beginning. When it comes to a complete file, they can fly through. Only when there's holes in those prequals does disaster happen, right? But guys, there's rates in the ones on a 10-year fixed, as crazy as that sounds. And even on the 30-year fixed, but it costs 3 and 4 points. So don't get fooled by the advertisements of the 1.99 30-year, because it's like 4 points. But it's not, it's like 1 point on a 10-year. It's really inexpensive. So I've been talking to clients a lot more about the 15 and 20-year. And even again on the 30-year, 2.8 is available with no points on conventional. So it's that low. It's that insane. So nobody needs to be fooled. We still have 3% down up to a 569 loan amount with as low as a 580 credit score. And we can still do 10% with a 550 credit score. So the market did get a little bit more strict during COVID, but then they did relax back up. So when these clients are hearing they can't do jumbos and stuff, that's not true. You can still do up to 90% with a first and second combo. So the financing is flexible, it's there, and the rates are historical lows.
Very cool. And then, so right now, if someone has somebody and they have no money, they want to buy a house in Roseville, Rockland, Folsom, El Dorado Hills, what would you tell them? I have good job, good credit, no money. What would you say, Alicia?
So I'm doing a lot of Cal HFAs for the first time home buyers, and I'm choosing that over the grant programs that are out there because you can get a 30-year fixed at 3% with 100% financing on that. That's just insane. And so I prefer that. With the grant programs, the rate
that only goes up to what, 479.9?
No, that you can do a 569 loan amount. You can do a 569 loan amount. The income's like 160,000 that you're allowed to make to get that program. So it's not real low income. It's a high income. and you can do it FHA.
So we can go almost
conventional.
So we can go to almost 570.
Yep.
100% financing 570. It's all you need to know. Don't worry about Cal FHA. Just say good job, good credit up to 570. Now Bart here, Bartoni, he's my Italian. I had the I when I was with him. Bartoni, Rigatoni. He's from Petaluma, Marin, Santa Rosa. Are there higher loan limits for the Bay Area because the cost of living there, or is it still 570 your max?
I would have to look it up. I believe that area is 729 from my memory.
Yeah, correct. Yep. It's higher.
Yeah, it's much higher, yeah.
Bartoni's older than me. He's been doing real estate since dirt. Yeah. How long have you been doing this, Barton? You've been doing it a while.
No, I haven't, buddy. It's only 16 years, man.
It's all the titanium. It made me think.
Right. I bring wisdom with me.
Real quick,
everybody has to refer to Barton as titanium from now on. We love it.
I do want to bring up USDA real quick, just because, guys, USDA, when it comes to the cheapest possible payment for your buyers, the mortgage insurance is 1/3 what it is on an FHA. And so a lot of areas qualify USDA, but again, the rates are 2.7, no points. And I am using some seller credit to buy it down, and I'm getting to 2, 2.25 on 100% financing. So that's insane.
Is that up to 570 in our area or for
It's
what?
income restricted. There is no actual loan limit because the income tends to be about 114,000 for a family of 5, so 3 kids and 2 adults. And that's for Plaza
So
Sacramento.
time out. What if it's a family of 6 or 7? What does that mean? Nothing. It's just
Well, it
saying.
does bump up the income limit with more household members. So it might be restricted in the 90s with only 1%, and then it goes up to 114. But it's really easy. It's on Google, or you just send them my way and don't try to pre-qualify them ahead of time. But pretty much Loomis, Penryn, and up the hill. And as far as Folsom doesn't qualify, but El Dorado Hills and up the hill does. So up to 50 Galt qualifies. So I have a lot of people where I'm like, hey, drive an extra 15 minutes, your rate drops and your payment drops $150. Now let's look at Wilton, right? And people are willing to drive.
Absolutely. Awesome. By the way, you just closed a deal for James and Jenny. They're all excited. They bought a 3rd or a 4th property here in West Roseville. Beautiful home. And I think you closed a couple of days ago. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And great job on the loan.
It was a fun one.
Yes, yes. Okay, so anybody else have a question for Alicia about interest rates, loan packages you've heard of, closing costs, anything at all before we move on to our next subject? The floor is yours. There's no bad question.
Alicia, can there be any amount of down payment?
Can there be any amount of down payment?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
It doesn't, I mean, to get those credit, you don't have to have 100% loan to get that USDA.
No, you don't. You can put up to 20% down.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's considered a lower income program. Once you have 20% down, they don't consider you to be lower income. They're like,
Barton and Ed here are from Marin, and they have a problem with too much cash. We are in Sacramento. We actually have trailer parks, and some people grew up in some rough neighborhoods. Not talking about Darcy Stratton. I would never do that. There she is. And but we come from the certain sides of the railroad tracks here, all of us here. But the Bay Area, they're like, is it okay if we put too much money down? No one's ever asked that question in my group in 20 years. It's like, how little can we get out of this for?
You do not have to be a first-time home buyer, so I think that's important for people to know to get USDA. You just can't own another home. So as long as you don't own another home, you can sell the home and do something else with those proceeds, pay off all your debt, and get 100% still.
So if somebody wants the USDA up to X and it goes, so you said there's no loan, there's no limit.
There's no loan limit, just the income limit.
Income limit. Let's take the other one where you said you routed off to them 720, 729 in the Bay Area, right?
Good morning.
Right?
Yep.
Martin? Is it? So you could, maybe the home's at 929 and they could put 200,000 down and buy it down to the 729 and still do the program.
Yes, they can.
Yeah. We're seeing USDA loans happen in our area, which is kind of interesting when you think about, well, I mean,
the limit's going to be higher, much higher. Yeah, because your average income where you live is much higher. So it's definitely an income-based program, and it's county specific. The neat thing is it's right on Google. USDA eligibility takes you right to the site, and you just type in an address, and it's like, boom, here's the data.
Oh, great.
Oh, it's so amazing. And if you need help, you can text or call me anytime. If you want, I can give you my number. I'm happy to point you in the right direction. It's 916-256-6486.
Great. And what a great tool to leverage new buyers. What a great tool to go hunting for new buyers with. Some co-planning with you and making it happen.
I still believe there's a ton of people out there. I can't buy a home. I can't buy a home. They have great credit, great jobs, and they can. It's up to us to get the word out through social media, through your farming, through your, by the way, do I have it? I do. Check this out, you guys. This will probably get us all thrown in prison, but I'm still going to show it to you. I was so excited. I pulled over and started snapping pictures. And so let me find it. Yeah, this is definitely going to get us in prison, but I'll still show it to you. So if you look at that, what does that sign say? Anybody read that?
Yes, showing by appointment, home tour.
And what's it say?
Compliant.
COVID. It says COVID-19 compliant. This guy did an open house. The place was packed. People going, thank God, an open house. Now at the door, it said wait, big sign. It had gloves. It had booties. It had Santa. It had masks. It looked all damn official. And he was raking in the clients with, and his signs everywhere saying COVID-19 compliant. And it was only by appointment. He says, you may not just come in, you have to have an appointment. We do appointments every 90 freaking seconds. Every like 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. He was signing people up. He was playing by the rules. I'm sure somebody will raise hell and I'm sure he will go to prison. But in the end, I thought it was quite creative and aggressive and I was very proud of him. And here's the funny thing. He's not even in EXP, but you got to see this. It just figures. So who's that man? Tom Daves. There's the COVID-19 compliant sign. I love it. He called Tom Daves. Tom Daves will go to prison with him, but I still think it's creative. I like it. It's good. I'm not saying you should do it. I don't know what I think about it. Cindy is always up on the open houses. Darcy, John, you guys, we're not supposed to do open houses. And his point is the house is not open. A big stop. Do not enter. You must have an appointment. But they're right there, and he's talking to him. He walks out. Okay, you're up in 5 minutes.
Brent, I did go in and talk to Debbie Penny about this just because people were asking us.
Yeah.
So here's the official from the Debbie Penny is you can do a open house by appointments. That's legal. You can't put up open house signs because they don't say by appointment. But if you put up an open house sign that does say only by appointment, everything is cool.
So this guy, I know the guy. He, hold on, I gotta get a better picture. What'd I do? Oh, great, I lost it. If you read his sign, it doesn't say open house. They look like open house signs. It says showing by appointment instead of open house. Then it says home tour, COVID-19 compliant. I was so excited. I drove there. I'm like, who is this maniac? I love him.
I think it's all legal from what I've heard from Debbie Penny.
Yeah, and then at the bottom, what's it say again at the bottom of that sign? Appointments available today. Like every 5 minutes. You could do your own sign, get creative, but you could stay with it. I'm telling you, they were lining up. He was picking up $700,000 buyer after $700,000 buyer. I know Ed and Barton, you would be depressed if they were that low. We get excited about that. You guys can get your $1.7 million buyer after 1.7, whatever it is. We're just humble mice looking for cheese in Sacramento. I love these two. I know them well. I can do this. Some of you are horrified, but Rob, thank you for calling Debbie Penny. For those of you who don't know, Debbie Penny is the state broker. I'm shocked that she agreed to this. She's pretty conservative, super by the book. She's a redhead, and she's like, do it by appointment. Those are the rules. So they look like there were signs everywhere. You would have thought it was an open house. I go, oh my gosh, open house, COVID-19 compliant. What's that? I don't know. I'm going to check it out. And the dude was just raking people in. And so I say, order some new signs, make it happen. Go get, he went and did it done, and he's not waiting around. He's not starving. I know people that are dying because they're not doing open houses. Rob, are you and Cindy going to give that a shot, Mr. Litzinger?
We are texting about it right now. I need the picture of, I will design that in the next 15 minutes.
You want my picture, Rob?
Yes,
this
please.
picture I have is available for $100 a pic. You can cash at me.
Easy money.
My name.
Money's on the way, Brent.
Money's on the way.
Yeah, send me your money. I'll give you the picture.
Yeah.
I'll take 5.
So yeah, I'll get it designed, and you know, if anybody else, I mean, yeah, let's go. We can have them print them right here
Okay,
locally.
so Rob's going to make them. Let's work on the design. I think there are some things that could have been better
Okay.
on that one. But praise God, he's just, oh, I can't do anything, starving. We will not starve. We will overcome. We will get through this. You know, this is
I
not.
am going to run it by Debbie Penny a second time because she's no joke.
Oh, yeah, the sign. She'll want to sign off on the sign.
Yeah.
You go make 30 signs, and then Debbie Penny gets a picture like, you can't do that. That's
Right.
really your fault for not running the marketing material, which is an open house sign, or in this case, a shown by appointment only sign every 5 minutes. You know, why not do an appointment every 5 minutes? You tell people you've got 5 minutes, right? And just go. So good for you, Rob. Thank you.
Question on that?
Yep.
For Rob, maybe too, on the Ed, is there any of the qualification or quantification of what appointment means? Like, I mean, can they make the appointment and walk right in? I mean, it doesn't have to be like 24 hours in advance or anything like that, right? I mean,
no, what she said was there was a limit to the amount of people in the house. I think it was the realtor plus 2. So
Yeah.
she was
Right.
saying, as long as you don't break the violation of the 3 people, you have to have your PPE, which is all there in the local, in our stuff. She showed it
Yep.
to me. Have to have your PPE, no more than 3, you know, realtor plus 2, and then everybody else social distance outside until it's their turn.
And
Then
you could have your son or your daughter, an 18-year-old there with the mask, going, hi, welcome. And, you know, the next appointment's in 10 minutes. The next appointment's in 5 minutes. Actually, they've been in there for 3 minutes. They'll be out in 2. Next appointment's in 2 minutes.
Right.
And they can literally be making an appointments every 5 minutes. Does that
Right.
sound right, Rob? As long as that. Now, they had like 7 or 8 people in the house. So if someone wanted to turn them in, I'm sure they get a slap on the wrist. But there's a way to do this right. Do you agree, Rob?
yeah, and I will go in, you know, I will go in and recheck all of this with Debbie, and I'm going to show her a picture of that sign, and then I'll post on our team page
Yep.
the outcomes of all that.
Yep. And then you teach who's ever doing that. Hey, we've got our next appointment's in 20 minutes. There's a Starbucks down the road. If you want to go get a cold drink, I can put you down for 20 minutes. You got to be on time, or we do put people in. So you got to be back in 20 minutes. And I think if I want to see a home in El Dorado Hills or Granite Bay, and the next appointment's in 30 minutes, I may go run to a pizza or Starbucks or run a few errands and come back. I think there's a way to make this work. Would everyone agree? Give me a thumbs up, wave at me.
Yeah.
Do you guys like it? It's good.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't normally brag. We're a pretty humble group, but Darcy Stratton has so much money. She's doing her Zooms in front of her safe. Look at that big safe. Got all that cash back there. She's showing off, having her best year ever. You are bad. I don't have a safe behind me. Come on. Okay, moving on. Cindy, I'm just harassing. Darcy's super fun to harass. Cindy Silva had a crazy. In fact, I told you I'd check into that, and I haven't done that. Oh, I need to do that. But Cindy, leave it to Cindy Silva. She sells. Here's why she's always in crazy deals, because she sells like 35 homes a year. And so when you're selling a lot, you get in crazy situations. This one's totally nutty. Cindy, take it away. Tell everyone what happened. And when you unmute your mic, did you get an answer yet? Or I can literally call Debbie Penny while you're talking. I don't know.
No, I haven't got an answer yet. So
Okay, I'll get an answer for you.
Okay. Yeah. So what, you want me to tell me my crazy story?
Yeah, we talked like last night. So in my defense, I just woke up and I haven't had a chance to them. Go ahead.
I had some friends and I sold their house in Rockland and bought them a house up in Cool. And for those of you who don't know where Cool is, it's like in the middle of the nowhere up in a mountain. And they kind of they were empty nesters and wanted to get away from everything. So this was a nice, safe place for them to go to. So we looked at the property. There was a bunch of like security around the house, like lots of gates and cameras and a whole room full of TVs with, showing the video cameras. And we were told it was a paranoid ex-cop that lived there. So we're like, yeah, no big deal. Well, fast forward, my clients move in, and all of a sudden, all the neighbors are coming over, which are, they all have 10-acre parcels, so they're not that close. And they're like, we are so happy you're here. We're so happy they're gone. And they were asking, like, why is everyone's so excited we're here? Like, I mean, I know it's nice to have new neighbors, but this is kind of like over the top. And they go, you don't know? And they go, what? And they go, why they're selling the house? And they go, yeah, well, we knew they were going to Sun City to move away from their daughter, so she couldn't move with them. And they're like, no, their son. And we're like, we didn't know about his son. Well, the son supposedly is a little bit nutso, and he broke into the neighbor's house trying to look for his parents, like broke in and was trying to kill them, where they had to grab the children and run up the mountain to the next neighbor's house, where he kicked in the door of that one and tried to go after that family. Well, that homeowner shot him, but didn't kill him, and he was on life support for quite a while, lived through it. He's in prison now. And we found out he gets out in 30 months. And so the whole hill is terrified that the son is going to come back and look for his parents that they don't know who moved. And so
and he's
I called
willing
it.
to kick in doors and bust into the neighbor's house looking for mom and dad.
Yeah, with a gun and being crazy. And so I was like, well, I'm going to ask the agent if he knew about this, because I don't know, like, is it, our ethical duty to do something, because they can't get a restraining order against someone they don't know. So I called the agent, and he's like, oh yeah, well, he's in jail in Southern California. I'm like, so I didn't tell you that information. So obviously you know more of the story than I did. And he like fully did not disclose that was the reason they were leaving, because they have a crazy son who tries to kill everyone on the mountain.
Details, minor details. So I think they did have a duty to disclose that somewhere in the paperwork. There's like are you aware of any neighborhood nuisances? Yes, us.
Right.
We are the nuisance. They go, no, everyone's great in this neighborhood. I think they got to rewrite the question. Are you a nuisance, or any of your family or friends? Or it's interesting.
Right?
So I'm going to try to dig on this, but I think here's what we're going to find, that this should have been disclosed. Okay, now what? Play this out in your heads. Okay, I need you to buy the house back. Yeah, they're probably not going to do that. I need you to give me money. How much? How are you damaged? Well, I'm worried he might come back. Okay, I'm sorry you're worried. Take an aspirin. Like, where is the financial damage here? And so probably the only way they could show damages is if they sold the house immediately and disclosed the situation, and maybe they paid $750 for the house on 10 acres, but now they can only get $650 because nobody wanted to pay $750 with the house when a crazy son may come back with weapons, who's got a reputation for kicking in the doors of everybody's house in the neighborhood, and families running for their life with their children away from this man. So they could probably show $100,000 damage at that point. Then you got to go to a court for 2 years, have a big lawsuit. Then if you win, you got to collect. Okay, you won, they owe you $200,000. Now you got to collect. Like O.J. Simpson, they sent him to court for years. They won, and he's like, I don't got no money, and they can't collect. He's allowed to have a certain living standard, which includes a convertible, a Rolls Royce, and an apartment in Las Vegas, because I golfed with O.J. Simpson, and he smiled at me and waved. I went, ooh. He played in the foursome in front of us. We're like, do not hit into him. In golf, you don't hit into the group in front, especially not him. Even if he has a butter knife, he'd be dangerous. But anyway, so my point is, I think it's a bad situation for Cindy's client. I don't think it's going to be, I don't see them. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. That's a bummer. But now the agent had massive knowledge of this. So us as agents, what do we have to disclose? What material facts? I think we have a duty to go above and beyond. So I think actually it'll be easier for your client, Cindy, to actually go after, what brokerage were they with?
Their own brokerage. It's just like a husband and wife brokerage.
And they'll go bankrupt, and there goes that money.
Yep.
So, right? And so
Yep.
That's why you want the deep pockets of EXP, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Lions. They actually have deep pockets. Now, there is an E&O policy, but if they were found to be negligent or operated wrong, the E&O does not cover agents that lie, commit fraud. It will not cover it. And so, right? And so that's probably their best chance, is going after that couple's E&O policy, because I don't know, but I think this is something that they should have disclosed, having knowledge, because we are held to a higher standard. So sometimes I tell people, look, don't tell me things. about the neighborhood, because you have to disclose what happens on your property and all this stuff. Sometimes I want to tell you about a haunted house 10 streets down. They start, I go, no, stop. Is this your house? I don't want to hear, because so we are held to a higher standard. I think that would be really interesting, maybe next Thursday, if I had Debbie Penny on here for an hour and we could talk disclosure, nightmare scenarios. What are you, good? You like that? Give me a thumbs up, wave at me if you like this. A good idea? And you guys could ask her questions. What do we really have to disclose? What is we buried our dog 8 years ago on our 2-acre property. Our golden retriever. We did a little prayer for her, and she's over there by the pond. Does that? So it'll be interesting. Hey, don't forget to mute your phones, everybody. Was somebody trying to make a comment? Go ahead if you were trying to say something on that. I think somebody just forgot to mute their phone is what's going on there. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is seller leads. Who has some creative ideas for getting listings during COVID-19? Does anybody have any creative go-to ideas that you want to, something that you've done recently that help you get a listing? I have a couple of, but before I'm always talking, I want to give you guys a chance. Does anybody have any thing that you did that helped get listings? Oh, that's a quiet one. All right. So I have a friend in San Jose. He's an open house guy. Can't do open houses. I'm going to turn him onto this COVID-19 compliant by appointment only home tour instead of the word open house. You will get burned if you put the word open house. Do not do it. So he went out and bought, let's see if I can find it here on my old phone. He went out and went to a fruit stand out in like Gilroy. He's in San Jose. And he bought all kinds of, they give him a good deal. He bought a bunch of like crates of apples. And so what he did was he delivered peaches. There were peaches. And then he had like 30 of his best clients. And he said, I spent 2 days, I was on the phone. Here he is. This is Johnny B. He's a happy guy. One of my first clients I ever trained from the Bay Area. He's a happy guy. And he gave me $5,000 to train him. But see, this is he's on a little farm. You see the tractor there in the background. There's that tractor and then all the strawberries and peaches. But if you look there, bags and bags full of peaches. See if I can actually show you. Here it is. So Johnny B got a crate full of peaches, and then he's kind of a funny guy. It's twirling. Anyways, he added a oven mitt. Let's see if I can get down there. There's an oven mitt. Had his name, Johnny B Team, and the peaches. He delivered it to 30 people and said, man, if you know anyone thinking about listing their home and moving out of the Bay Area, because I would love a referral. I love you guys. Just want to bless you with some wonderful peaches. It didn't cost him a ton of money. He got 2 listings. 2 listings.
Was it random people? Or?
No, these were 30 of his past clients.
Past clients, okay.
He went to check up on him. Hey, it's a little gift from Johnny B, a little oven mitt. I mean, that's not me. I would not do the oven mitt. I don't know what I'd do, but that's Johnny B. He's a funny guy, but he is the sweetest guy, golden retriever personality. He delivered 30 of those and got 2 listings. One of them, they go, yeah, we're moving. We're out of here. I'm so glad you reached out. The other one gave a referral to a family member who was looking at listing. He ended up getting 2 listings. He makes a chunk of change in the Bay Area per listing, like $35,000. It's like $70,000 in commissions for, I think he spent like $400 on some peaches. It did take him 2 days, but I don't know. It beats doing nothing. Proactive, reactive. Be proactive. Massive action. He worked hard for 2 days finding people, driving around town through traffic, but it was a super fun way. And then who will list with him in 6 months or a year? Because they're like, Johnny B is so sweet. He was here, Cindy, Alicia, Danielle, Valerie, Darcy, even John Jennings. That guy's so nice. And they came and brought us apples from Apple Hill. I remember bringing apple pies this tall from Apple Hill to builders in Lincoln. 2 of the builders, nothing happened. Lennar gave me a bunch of listings. and I'm just bringing them apple pies. And they're like, you're trying to bribe us. I go, totally. I'm totally guilty of bribing. They're like, it's totally working. We're going to hook you up. And they're just like, here you go. And they're handing me out $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 listings because people are got to sell to buy. And, so I don't know, but it's just, I want to throw that out there. Now is the time to be scrappy, to be gritty, to be creative, and to do stuff. I mean, I've always thought the flag thing, 4th of July, they put flags on the lawn. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. I would never do that. My pastor's like, we have this woman in our neighborhood, you won't believe it. She had 4th. I go, what'd she do? She put little flags, like 99 cents, on everyone's lawn. My wife and I were so in their cards. Genius, you got to put flags on lawns. And I've always thought that is the dumbest thing in the world. I would never go around putting flags on people's lawns. There's no call to action. And yet my pastor's a total patriot. God bless America, liberty, freedom. And to him, vets, super patriotic people, God, guns and guts, the NRA, and my flag's out right now. I'm the only person in my neighborhood with the flag out. If you're else, I keep it out. I keep it out in the summer. I love flying my flag, take it down the rainbow. I'm a patriot. So, but for whatever reason, I'm like, that doesn't mean squat to me, but I'm telling you, he goes, Brent, if we didn't know you, we would totally list our home with her. We're not moving. But he goes, I was blown away his response. John raised his hand a second ago, then Darcy. Thank you for waving at me. It helps me. John, go ahead, then Darcy.
So two things. Two things. First off, what Valerie and I did, and I don't know how many listings Valerie's gotten off of this since COVID, but we have at least 3 in contract from this. And what she did, currently 3, and what she did was called up her clients and just said, hey, just checking in, seeing how you're doing. By the way, interest rates are super low. Because I don't want to have to drive around and give people peaches, right? That's not our thing. So I can just call somebody. I can call far more people than driving around. And so she just said, hey, the interest rates are really low. Are you going to be in the home the next 5 to 7 years or so? You should totally refinance and then flip that to our lender, right? But if they say, no, actually, funny you called. They're always funny you called. We're actually thinking about selling. And now Valerie has a lot of money in escrow because of that. So that's one thing that you can do. It doesn't cost a dime, right? So you can call, and if you don't have past clients.
I'm more attracted to that idea than the peaches idea, but you guys were all like zipped. You didn't say boo, and then he's got that little gem. Thank you, John. So I had to do the dumb peaches thing.
I know.
And so thank you. That is brilliant. Now I'm attracted to that way over the oven mitt and the peaches. I think it's cute. It's nice. I've done the pies.
And if you don't have clients, like if you're new to the industry, call your friends, call your family and say, hey, by the way, I was on a team meeting. They're talking about interest rates. You need to get them in the ones. Like, what are you thinking about doing? You should totally refinance. Actually, we're thinking about selling. Hey, then let me help you, And then, so that's one thing. The second thing.
Oh, time out. And then when they go, oh my gosh, yes, we're going to refi, give them to Alicia.
Yeah.
It means nothing to you, but it'll change her life. And we want people that you're a painter, you're a plumber, you're an AC person. We want them to really go out of the way to give you a listing. It means nothing to them, but it means a lot to all of us. So you get, and if you're like, well, nobody's doing that for me, probably because you're not doing that for other people. Mm-hmm. I connected my general contractor to somebody today. I connected my, flooring person. It's just go out of your way for others. And then don't just do it because you get a referral, but it's okay, but do it because you want to do it. But go ahead, John, I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say the same thing. Like we have three escrows going, so additional 3, and those are actual lender referrals. People that we work with, they have given us, said, hey, so-and-so's selling, we're going to do the warm transfer, right? So if you give Alicia business, right, then, and she knows somebody that's selling, she's more likely to give you the business back as well. So right there, that's another free way to do it. This one is paid, this last one is paid. And I haven't had success with it, but I've heard about people who have. Val and I are just starting because inventory is super tight. What we're going to start doing is skip tracing people. And there's a super affordable thing. Reach out to Rob. I'll give him the information on the program. But it's basically about $50. It's a one-time thing, and you can get so many phone numbers off of it. But what you want to do, if you have buyers and they don't see any inventory that's exciting to them, have them take a little yellow legal pad, drive around and write down addresses that they like, and then you can skip trace them. You can get their names, their phone numbers, and their emails, and you can call them and say, hey, I have a buyer pre-approved, ready to go, interested in your house. They drove by, saw your house. Have you given any thought to selling right now? And you can create your own inventory that way.
And they may say no, but maybe next year. Good. Can I get in touch with you next year? I'm trained as an appraisal. You can call your bank. They'll charge you $450, or I can do it. I'm free. I'll be blatantly honest. I'm hoping you'll give me a listing appointment, but the appraisal's no charge. And I'm hoping to be of service to you and your spouse. And this way, because you may think you know what it's worth, but I tell you what, I'm an absolute expert at marketing homes. And if you're off by 50, 75 grand and you put on the market and it sells in a day, your agent isn't great. You fire sold it at 50 or 75. I go, so don't praise your agent. Don't pat yourself. Let me either confirm what you're thinking, or maybe it's worth more than you think. And they go, so can I call you in 6 months? Yeah. And great. My name is Brent, John, Valerie. And then you start getting the tickler file, the system up. That's beautiful, John. Love it. So skip tracing. We are now skip tracers. I love it. I love it. Who's seen that movie with Gerald Butler, and he goes after Jennifer Aniston, and he chases her down and handcuffs her, and it's a bounty hunter, I think is that is the best movie. If you want to watch a movie that you will wet your pants, cry laughing, watch Gerald Butler. Is that his name? Bounty Hunter? Is that what it's called? And they put a bounty. His wife skips a judge, and they put a bounty on her head, and he goes and collects the bounty. He's so funny. You will love it. It's really cute. Darcy, made you wait forever. I apologize. What did you want to chime in?
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So Cindy and I have a friend in Lincoln who makes some cool stuff. She's done for Alicia too. So I've closed a few deals from people who have referred, and I was trying to think of ways to go by and say thank you, but then also, and I was talking to Alicia about this, ask for more referrals. Like I have to get better at that. That's something that, I'm like missing a disconnect. So I had these vases made. I don't know if you can see like their names on them, their last name, or you can do their first name. And then I'm going to bring flowers and, a little thank you card. Thanks for the referral. But these were super cheap. I want to say like just a couple of bucks. And I'm going to put some cute flowers in them. And then I'm going to ask for the referral. I'm missing that little part right there. But they're already giving them to me. So why not? If you have anybody else that's looking to buy or sell, I loved working with your parents, that did that type of thing. So that's what I'm going to be working on.
That's so sweet. I never do that. But that is so awesome. I'm horrible. Barton.
This is to follow up to you, Johnny, that the refi and then the referral over to Alicia when you're making the sphere of influence calls. I always feel like that the gold is really in your contact list, right? We've already got the access. So I really appreciate your point of view on that. So I was thinking that when you do that and the client does say refi and you're kind of thinking, well, let's shift them over. Of course, you'd ask, who else do you know that's thinking about refiing or selling their home? But then also, that refi might lead to, a cash out. So are you thinking about working on your home, Johnny? You are? Great. Excellent. Why don't I send you my vendor list so you can have all kinds of resources available, and then call me if you have any difficulties getting any vendors to come give you bids, because it's busy right now for them. So why don't you leverage me as a resource once you refi? Just thought I'd throw that out.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Any other thoughts before we get you out of here today? James and I talked, we're trying to shorten the team meeting down to about 45 minutes, so it's not an hour every week. We know you guys are all super busy. Cindy's smiling real big. But so we're trying to make it 45 minutes. We're at 44 minutes right now. Alicia.
In that same dialogue, throw out, hey, have you thought about buying investment property? Because that's a deal for you, and they can get their down payment cash out. And literally investment property rates are in the 3s, and I'm doing some in the 2s on an investment property. Wow. So yeah, so that's something where you can throw that out there, like, oh, you want to refinance? I remember you mentioning you one day wanted to buy a rental. Have you thought about that again lately? Boom, there's another deal for you. Some people want to buy 4 or 5. There you go.
I love it. I love it. Anybody else before we wrap this up? Yes.
Hi, Claudia. I wanted Alicia's phone number to start with.
916-256-6486.
And then Rob's on right now. Rob, can you post that in the team page? And Claudia, are you in the team page? Are you in the Brent Gove team page?
What do you mean? I'm down in Elk Grove, so.
Right. No. It's a Facebook, Brent Gove Team Facebook page. Are you on there?
Oh, no, I'm not. No.
Okay, so let's get you on there. So
great.
Robert,
anybody that needs anything, I've been multitasking with James here, working what we're doing. So anybody that needs anything, email it to rob@brentgove.com and I'll make it all happen. I just don't know exactly what everybody would transpire here. That
brentgove.com. So Claudia, say, please add me to the Brent Gove kind of inner circle. We have 13,000 agents now in the organization. You guys are in the inner core group. People I love and welcome. You're so important to me. So, which is.
And I have another question.
Yes.
I was putting out letters that, and we've got people that are interested in your house putting out letters. And I read on Workplace that you can't do door knocking. And I mean, I was successful at it. So is the word is you're not supposed to do door knocking?
You can't do door knocking you can do it until you get caught. But anyways, I don't know. I guess you're not supposed to door knock. Does anybody know? Is that the word on the street?
I'd have to talk to Debbie about that one. You know, you
Cindy
can always
seems to know. Cindy, chime in. Cindy Silva. I can't hear you, Cindy.
Yeah. Last time I checked, it was with EXP. It was no door knocking was allowed. So no.
It does
change. Or
though.
leaving it at the door, leaving the flyer at the door.
Nope. They don't even, last time I checked, they don't even want flyers in a flyer box anymore. Anything that multiple people could touch, we want to stay away from.
Yeah.
I
The
had
funny thing is you go to the grocery store and you have to touch that pin pad and your Apple Pay and it's all right there. Yuck. But, whatever. Okay, good. And so Rob's going to post Alicia's phone number and contact information in the Brent Gove team page. Anybody else before we wrap this up?
Hey, Brent, it's me, Darcy.
Yes.
I had an agent door knock, and she put my address for my office on the flyer. I had so many calls from upset people. Yeah, ton of people called me.
Was it one of your agents?
Yeah. And they called me because
not me.
I know, it's so funny because they didn't call her phone number. They must have typed in
They're trying to rat her out.
I know. So just so you know, it didn't go over well. It didn't.
The public is freaked. And so there's right there. You don't want the bad PR. So glad it was you and not me. I'm sorry. I'm just straight up. I like people to like me. Anyways, anybody else? We wrap this up today. Okay, and I want to give a special shout out to Sam. Sam, it's so good to see you right there by Manu. We don't always get Sam. And now, are you still doing RC Willie, Sam?
Yes, I am.
So if you are going to buy a couch, a table, a lamp, if you're going to buy anything, go see Sam. My wife and I have spent a ton of money with Sam. We love him. I'm giving you, he's the kindest. The service is great. This is a heartfelt, he's awesome. So if you need any kind of furniture, RC Willie in Roseville, Pleasant Grove, and Blue Oaks and 65, whatever out there, go see Sam. Wonderful experience. And he's given us great prices. And so a little shout out for you there, Sam.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sam's scheduled for his real estate exam next month.
All right, give Sam a hand. Woo! Welcome to the family. All right, guys, we're hey, look at that. Well, I don't know what just happened. 10:45. We're done. We're out of here. Love you guys. Have a good day.